Even in the worst of weather, the sky can be a picture of beauty. Sometimes it belies the view down below. This yellow is not exactly a rainbow, but enough to stop traffic. For some, a photo opportunity from afar. Traffic around Jones Primary School comes to a standstill thanks to one big casualty of the ice storm.
That was beautiful. Big tree.
Down for the count, leaving lines dangerously dangling in the street. Power wiped out to nearby homes, among thousands of outages reported countywide.
Trees down, man, everywhere.
Seems all but the sky followed.
Trees, cables, wires, you name it.
Nearby residents say the winds packed a punch.
Yes, very high winds. Furniture on the deck moving around.
It was horrible up in there. There's trees. I just keep watching, wondering which one's going to come down.
Just around the corner, there's another barricade. This one on Pinecroft off Beaver Dam Road. Jennifer Pearson left there only to arrive here, yet another roadblock.
Yes, after just leaving one and then we hit another one. Just get me to Jason's Deli.
The barricades leave motorists searching for silver linings. And after hours without power, some look for storm relief in a bowl.
I'm looking for some French onion soup.
It has a very deep meaning for us.
At the place once named one of the greenest universities in the Southeast, the mood is decidedly blue.
It's a very special tree, so we're going to give it very special treatment.
Just a few gather, whispering somber words.
Thousands of people have probably spent time in and around this tree.
At UNC Asheville, it might as well have been the family tree.
This is UNC Asheville's one of UNC Asheville's living treasures.
The aging crabtree was already rotting inside. Just days before Christmas, it was split by whipping winds. The landscape director, Melissa Acker, forced to face reality.
Wrap your arms around the fact that you can't save it.
It has been here on the Quad since 1964, the perch where students socialized and studied. Some even proposed marriage beneath it.
We've heard from so many alumni who have sat under that tree or climbed that tree or just have their memories wrapped around that tree.
This is the site for commencement, for graduation. Yep.
Aaron Dahlstrom, class of 2009.
This was where I needed to be just because of how beautiful these trees were and how just magical this place is.
With chainsaws blazing, there's a sense of reverence.
Seeds are being harvested for the future.
The remnants handled carefully, with plans to make something meaningful with those scraps.
We're going to save as much as possible.
The responses on Facebook have all been extremely positive about, the way we're handling this and how respectful we're being.
Surprisingly, it only takes about an hour to strip down almost 50 years of history.
There's the old gal coming down right now.
That's so sad. It has broken many hearts to see that tree fall.
The loss that cuts so deep. At UNC Asheville, John Lee, News 13.
Well, the idea is to let people know what to expect when they head out the door.
Even before we step outside, the weather forecast is a window to the world.
And we hit 22 degrees this morning.
The highs and lows of local television news.
Roll green.
Here's a look outside.
Meteorologist Julie Wonder gestures in front of a blank wall
clearing things out.
that looks like this on TV.
Chicago, but we certainly were just as cold as a lot of folks farther up to the north.
Take the break.
But you do become a teacher to some extent. I really just think I'm talking to a camera sometimes. You don't really realize the impact you might make.
A barometer of that impact is in Hendersonville, where Logan Heim waits patiently until it's time.
Now, in high definition, this is your News 13 Skywatch forecast.
Once in position, he hangs on every word and repeats as much as he can.
A few more high clouds in the distance, but the next 2 days should actually be predominantly sunny for the area.
Logan is autistic. His mom, Juliet, says meteorology sparked a significant breakthrough.
This boy is 13 years old and he is learning how to talk. And it's really, really exciting.
High 52, low
29.
Several months ago, speech therapist Kara Gregory realized her client's passion for weather.
for the world.
He's so interested in Julie's role there of delivering the weather.
The sunshine is back.
He's really interested in taking on that role himself.
Stay with us to find out.
They use recorded broadcasts as a learning tool.
I'm writing down the sentences in a shorter form that Julie is saying. Will you say the weather for us?
Yes. At 4 o'clock, it will be 52 degrees. At 8 o'clock, it will be 32 degrees.
That was nice and loud.
And along with what he says, Logan also improves non-verbally.
The different things that Julie does when she's saying the weather, the gestures that she uses. He'll even use facial expressions that she's using, and you'll see he's moving his body back and forth. And that's actually a really big deal for people with autism.
Communication is so challenging for him, and there's so much social pressure.
It feels like 23 degrees.
To appreciate where he's standing today, you'd have to look back at nearly a decade of progress. Diagnosed with autism when he was 4.
With Logan, it's always been baby steps. I remember the year that he learned to pronounce the S, and that was his one thing that he learned in that 1 year was pronouncing the S.
Juliet now holds out hope she'll be able to have a conversation with her son one day.
I want to know what his interests are, what his fears are, what his own goals are in life.
They are questions any mom wants to ask.
Is he happy? Is there more we can do to help him?
The unanswered questions lead them here.
It's going to be really exciting.
What's up? Stand by 2.
As we told you earlier,
30 seconds.
Meteorologists educate viewers in their own way every day.
Our wind chill was as low as 8.
And while Julie can predict the weather,
So here's your future cast.
she didn't foresee a story like this.
Wow. What do you think? You like it?
Yes.
Is it very cool? Huh?
Hi, Logan.
Hi, Joey.
How are you?
Good.
Good.
For him, this is like Christmas.
Logan meets his TV
Holding the
mentor.
remote. This is the remote that I use. And we have your 7-day, which is always a fun part. The green means go. I'm gonna touch right there.
Once he has the mechanics down,
Hold on to this.
Logan's on his way.
22. Tonight, Saturday, 59. Sunday, 62.
His special day felt like 7.
65.
After years grasping for words,
Thursday, 55.
almost unthinkable that weather speaks to him and that Logan talks back.
Monday, 65. Tuesday, 55.
That's fantastic. Good job.
32. Today.
A reminder of who's watching and who's learning.
It's so touching. I hardly have words for it.
And by the green screen,
42 degrees. Today.
a lesson for all of us.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us.
Perfect.
It's just so special to see.
Thank you, Jenny.
You're welcome, Logan.
Behind his home in a dark little shed. 7 months ago,
here we are.
Alan Hetzel began preparing for a late summer ritual.
So they're tucked away in there.
Stored in bins of wood chips in plastic bags, each with a number, a classification, a history.
And each is my baby.
He plans for the giveaway.
It's kind of hard to give it up, but it's time for me to give it up.
But it's months away. The plot of land in the Black Mountain retirement community he lives is still hardened by winter.
I can see it being a lot of work ahead.
But he sees possibilities.
I can picture the way it did look back in September at the peak of the season.
Then late May, after the last frost.
This is the same plot that I've used for the last few years.
His babies, the tubers he cultivated for months in his shed,
I don't need to hold on to them.
were planted and poised for a summer of growth.
That's what I want to do.
Last week, the sign came up.
There it is.
The scissors were hung out for any resident who can clip the stem of one of his beautiful dahlias.
They do look good, yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. It's just so joyful.
And maybe even more so to take them home. For 7 years now, Alan Hetzel has grown his dahlias just to give them away.
I grow them for the satisfaction of sharing them with other people.
He sees dahlias like he sees people, coming in all shapes, sizes, and colors.
Every one is unique,
That's too many, but I'm going to take some to my husband. He's in the health care.
Pat Trotman will make a special dahlia delivery to her husband who has Alzheimer's.
I really have never seen anything like it in my entire life.
They are so perfect, and we are imperfect.
And I'm glad to see other people can see what I see in those blooms. I see perfection. The closer you look at it, the more beauty you see.
Beauty within reach of anyone who wants to take it. From the man with a green thumb and a heart of gold.
It's the dahlia guy.
I'm the dahlia man.
And with the passing of the seasons, the dahlia man will ready for another summer day.
I grow them to share them with other people.
He'll once again grow them simply for the giving.
It's priceless, and he is too.
Makes it all worthwhile, even when they go away.
One of my fishing buddies says that trout tend to live in gorgeous places, and he's right.
Here we go.
The fundamentals of fly fishing aren't always clear. It's not the final count that matters, but how you tackle the sport.
To fish is to hope, right?
Yeah.
Hope flows through Kathy Ackerman.
5 minutes into the water, we caught one. What, about that big?
But an hour later, she and instructor Brett Salter
You can just work it back behind you.
are still doing a lot of fishing.
I guess fishing and catching are two different things.
You're doing great.
Thank you.
Even a leaf can reel her in for more.
Thought I had something, but I had a maple. This is just such an amazing weekend that I never would have dreamed.
Ooh, that was a good cast.
Thank you.
This after a real-life nightmare.
When you're in your second round of chemo, about the last thing you're thinking about is signing up for anything.
But it led to something.
Look at that delicious fly. Come on.
This isn't just a fishing trip for women. It's also Kathy's first therapy session.
Beautiful.
What I found out about breast cancer is it sounds awful, but it brings as many wonderful things as it does awful things. And one of them has been this weekend.
More than a dozen women at this weekend retreat are in the same boat. They're learning to fish, but teaching each other.
You'd be amazed what's traveling right between your feet right now.
No kidding.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, not literally, but...
There was just something so nice about, showing up and knowing that it really didn't matter if you had eyelashes or if, your hair was only a quarter of an inch long. It didn't matter because all of them knew what you had been through. And
when you leave this place, you carry the essence of the people you've been with.
Hello.
Treatment took its toll on Kathy. She finished chemotherapy only 3 months ago, yet she's been standing in this chilly river for hours.
All right, yeah, there we go. Now every day when I wake up, I stop and go. It's a great day.
Even if it's a one fish kind of day.
Caught a rock. The other side of cancer is better than the front side.
It's this.
Great attitude.
That keeps Kathy flying high.
I'll take this weekend with me because I've learned so much about how to go on with the rest of my life as a breast cancer survivor.
A survivor, casting for recovery.
And there's just something about being here and just being.
All right, who's got a formula for me?
Going to school helps us figure things out. We jot it down on paper.
Think about real-life applications.
Sometimes Connor Stroud refers to his textbook.
Force equals mass times acceleration.
As we get older, the questions get tougher.
They need to figure out how much force it's going to take to make a car move.
There comes a point when students think way beyond these walls.
Outside of 7th grade science class, in the real world.
Out here, Connor has a formula all his own.
I just try to walk at a normal speed.
If this were the only thing he did all day, it'd be enough to impress us. Teacher Katie Strug says it's a stunning trek across campus each day.
He's extraordinary.
It's not too far.
He has a drive. He has the heart of a lion.
His whole life seems like an uphill climb. After all, when he was younger, doctors weren't even sure Connor would be able to walk. After school, Connor commutes, taking a bus to the place he feels most at home.
Yeah, I like doing stuff that people don't think I can do.
At 3 feet tall, he's about as tall as the net.
I can't get really that much top spin, but like I just try to hit it hard.
No matter where he plays,
They're just like so amazed. I guess they just haven't seen it before and they're just like, they just don't know what to think.
And he loves it, probably more than any kid we've ever hit with.
his tennis coach is his mom,
He just has his lower leg, no hip joint, and no femurs. So it's very difficult even for him to walk.
And then this is like a squishy or like thing at the bottom, and I just like walk on that.
Connor moves around on what he calls stubbies.
Nice shot.
Still not comfortable with prosthetic legs.
Well, it makes me slower and stuff. But I wear them when I go to like Disney World and stuff to get on rides. So yeah, I'm taller, so I get to go on rides.
But away from Space Mountain, he is always the center of attention.
Everybody will remember you second more than the best player. Because, I mean, he's just different.
Connor doesn't just compete. He wins tournaments, too.
It feels really good. It's better than losing.
I mean, we all have a disability. It's usually on the inside or a chip on your shoulder or, you know, something. Most people's disability you just can't see.
In a way, he was born to play. Dad Dewey was a former Clemson tennis star.
I'm very proud of him, of course, but I'm just happy for him that he enjoys doing that.
15 off.
Doctors say Connor exerts 3 times as much energy than his opponents.
Nice shot.
Which makes him think.
I guess I could be a role model.
Now back in school, he's not really trying to set an example. Like everyone else, just trying to find his way. Honing the formula for success that's unique to him.
Let's figure it out. I don't want to be like anybody else. I'm just happy the way I am.
It's a sound wave.
They say you can't always believe what you hear in school.
How do you think the sound goes from here to your ears?
In this case, you have to listen closely. We first went to West Buncombe Elementary to see second graders raise ruckus in the name of science.
Start the sound wave.
But during our shoot,
icy cold milk, it comes out.
Someone compelling popped up.
Recreate sound.
That's Garen shaking up our story.
It creates vibrations in your throat, which turns into sound waves. And you know what we call those sound waves?
What?
Wiggles. We call them wiggles.
But just when we thought he was there for comic relief, everything changed the moment we asked Garen Greiner what his least favorite sound was, which led to the soundbite we never expected.
The sound of somebody screaming.
And it only took a brief burst of audio
She has chemo.
to lead us to the visual we will never forget.
Get you preoccupied, get your mind off of it.
This is what the fight against cancer sounds like.
Okay, do you want to take that off?
My little sister Jordan, she's in the hospital.
Just 5 years old.
Do you want to wait for your lunch?
Facing leukemia. Mom Lisa fearing the worst.
It's as though she's given up. And so each day I get up with a different, pray for a different frame of mind.
Listening for whispers of hope.
You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Deep breath, you can do it.
We met them at Chapel Hill at the Ronald McDonald House, together on an island.
My children have pretty bald heads.
My head's cold.
That's Jordy and Garen when she was 3 years old, first diagnosed before she started losing hair. He is right there with her, trying to make her laugh, and even though he's scared.
That spark of humor is Garen's gift and a source of strength for the whole family.
My dad calls people a really strong beefcake.
All right.
Hi, beefcake.
Now hours apart from Jordan, wishing she were there when he gets off the school bus.
And she just screamed Gary, and it just made me feel really special that she loved me. Sometimes he squeezes me to death when he hugs.
Garen would give anything for a life supply of hugs.
I donated my bone marrow, and why I did it is because I love my sister.
But even a 100% match is no guarantee.
You're just standing up, and the rug just yanked out from underneath you.
Do you feel like moving yet?
The leukemia returned just as she started kindergarten. Jordy recently received her second bone marrow transplant, this time from someone outside the family.
And she just stays upset because she's tired of hurting.
So often, snuggled up in bed,
Season 2,
watching episodes of Full House, longing for the family she sees on TV.
Everybody being together in one house, she lives for that, lives for that.
Thoughts of Garen bring them closer to home.
I love you all the way around the universe and back.
She said she loves him all the way around the universe and back. Lisa, of course, longs for her son too.
I want to get home as fast as I can. And I love you.
She's a mother torn in so many directions. The roadmap to recovery leaves her lost.
That's all.
Lisa struggles like so many moms in the same position, filled with so much emotion, she can only drop her head.
I'm not surprised that he was the boy that you talked to in that classroom. He gets everybody's attention.
Let's go back to your tables real quick.
Remember, Garen first caught our eyes and ears by touching our hearts in the middle of a lesson about sound. So much more poignant.
Yes.
When we heard this.
I want her to make the sound of her laughing and saying my name.
He'd go to the end of the earth for Jordy.
Long ride for him.
226 miles at a time to Chapel Hill.
Giddy! Bazinga.
What more do you say?
I said bazinga.
Bazinga.
Her prescription for a bear hug finally filled.
It's been a hard day for her health-wise, so she needed this big time.
Maybe a smile transplant will make all the difference.
What's up, Fishy? What's up?
This story began with Garen's study of sound waves. In the worst of times, even everyday racket becomes music to our ears. And when this is your window to the world, it sure means a lot to see Garen on the other side.
They will forever have a bond. Forever, his cells will run through her body. Forever and ever.